back east. This is the Outside Gate with Steve Hall on the L4 Media Network. We're talking US Moto and anywhere the conversation goes. Joining me today is Factory Triumphs, Jalek Swoll. Welcome to the show, dude.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So, dude, you must be, I'm tipping you probably got a mixture of excitement and nerves. Yeah, man. A big first round for you and a big first round for the team, I guess, man. Yeah. It's it's a huge thing, man. You know, you're going to be always in the record books as the first guy for this team. You know,
hmm
yeah, that's a pretty big thing. How do you feel about that, man?
No, it's cool. It's one of the main highlights of this team even being like a thing for me to go to. Really is I mean, to be the first. Not many guys are able to do that, and there's space. There's not very many new teams coming around so often. So new team, new bike. It was just kind of those once in a lifetime style things that you can be a part of. And yeah, it just so happened to be the year that I was going to be up for grabs. So super pumped. The team has been great. The bike has been a lot better than I feel a lot of people think or even going to expect it to be. So I'm in a really good spot. Mentally, I'm in a good spot, and the people who are around on the team are um, there's some talent here. So I'm super appreciative to be a part of the process.
Yeah, man. There certainly is some talent, man. Like I guess that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is that the people that have grouped together to make this happen. So we'll just dive straight into that. Obviously with Bobby and with Steve and I guess Brownie as well. It's sort of all familiarity for you there.
hmm
It sort of was it. Did it feel a little bit like going back home to go back to working with Bobby and Steve?
Yeah, that was a big selling point for me. Because my first win, or my only win at the moment, came when Scuba was my team manager, and yeah, I mean, growing up, like Scuba, which is Steve, but we call him Scuba.
Yeah.
He's pretty much been like my moto dad, I guess, if I'd say. Like, I stayed with him whenever I flew out to California and did that whole deal, or um, I had a big injury when I broke my pelvis when I was maybe B or A class, and I stayed at his house because I couldn't fly, and like, so we have a really good bond. And so re-teaming up with him was a pretty big selling point. And also Bobby was the first guy to give me a contract when I was. He gave me my first Husqvarna contract when I was amateur. So when I was like 13 or 14, Bobby was the one that handed me the contract. So I have a lot of history with the personnel here, and to me, like, I felt like I was in a position where um, I wasn't too stoked with my Husky when I was there. I just, for whatever reason, not to say it's a bad bike, but I just, for whatever reason, for me, it just didn't fit me. Like, I just couldn't really figure it out, and um, so that was very frustrating, and just injuries and just everything. I just felt like it was kind of time for me to have some new beginnings and just a fresh start. So um, it was kind of a no-brainer, honestly. I had talked to a few teams, but ultimately Triumph just made the most sense, I think.
Yeah, cool. And like man, I don't want to talk about your injuries and your bad luck too
Mhm.
much, but yeah, man, like the fans, we know you've had a rough go, man. So really,
Yeah.
really wishing you the best. Um, yeah, and at Brownie. So when you would have worked with Brownie at when you're at Husky as well, was you were on Brownie's crew at one stage?
So Well, yeah. So I trained at Alden's,
Yeah,
but I was on, like, I mean, we call it the B side. So
yeah,
Brownie had his group, which was me, Bolin, um, Vial, Cochran, Hawkins, that group,
yeah,
and Alden has his group. So I trained with Brownie ever since I got to Alden's, which I think I was there for 3 years. So I've always been around Brownie, and Brownie just kind of became um, like who I talk to. Although, like, if you get a good result, it's Alden is the one who gets most of the credit because it is his place. But
yeah,
for us, Brownie was the biggest help for
yeah,
me, and he was there. He was a big part of the program. I mean, obviously the whole time, but I mean, we did the same thing the year that I got the win and um, podium Supercross and some good results. So for me, I was actually the one who kind of pushed for Brownie a good bit here. I know they were looking for a team trainer, and at the time, I think they had like two or three names that they were kind of shopping around. But to me, I just felt like Brownie was the guy to get, and so I pushed hard for that, and yeah, they made it happen. So everything's been pretty smooth sailing, and um, like coming back to a team that has very familiar faces with Scuba and Bobby was really nice, but also being able to take somebody who was at Alden's as well with me here just kind of put the icing on the cake a little bit because he's seen my really good days and he's seen my really bad days. And for me, that was pretty important to have somebody who's been there for it all to kind of know when things are going according to plan, when it comes down to training and stuff. Because I knew with the first year of Triumph, of course, they want it to be a bigger team next year, but with it just being the select group that it is now, um, I needed somebody who really knows what a good day is and what we need to shoot for.
yeah. Cool, cool, cool. And so, are you training sort of daily with Evan and with Joey, or has Joey sort of been in and out, or?
Well, from the AMA rule or whatever where he couldn't race. He hasn't been on Supercross as much. He's been kind of back home in Florida and doing some outdoor stuff.
Yeah,
So
of
it's really
course.
just been me and Barry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. And I noticed there is Aiden Kiefer there with Brownie as well. Now
Yeah.
I saw that on a an Insta clip there. Yeah, so
hmm
little Kiefer's down there. Yeah. Hey, Brownie man, like you must whenever a young fella's training with Brownie and they look at how he looks at his age, it must just give
hmm
you confidence that that guy's telling you the right thing because he walks the talk, man. Like
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
tell me something like what can he still beat all you guys at, like push ups or chin ups or something? I bet there's something that he's still got you all covered on.
Uh, dude, Brownie's a rare breed, man. He he's still way strong. I mean, I'm not the best guy when it comes down to cycling. I don't try to be a cyclist. I know what I am. You know what I mean? I'm a racer. I let everybody else try hard the road bike and stuff.
Yeah,
But like I've gotten to a point now where I've done road biking for a few years and I've got a really good base, I feel. And Brownie still just blows me out of the water. Like he can choose when he wants to drop me. So like the dude is strong. Like you said, he's been there, done that, and yeah, I mean, there's not many things that Brownie can't do. I mean, literally the other day, uh, last day of riding for me before Detroit, Brian was like, "Oh, let me ride your bike around." I'm like, just want to feel something. He said something, I don't know. So he got on the bike, he rides around the Supercross track for a second, and then I look over, and then he's jumping the rhythms, and then he does the whoops. I'm like, no, for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. What about so do you see Ricky much? Like he's obviously a brand ambassador. Does he get down there much? Is he done much sort of hands on stuff?
I've seen him a couple times. So I mean, I've seen him a couple times at the facility. I'm pretty sure most of his stuff is kind of done from where he's at.
Yeah.
He has a good amount of involvement in kind of talking to us and the guys and making sure everything is going pretty good. So he's still really involved in that aspect. But riding wise, I haven't really seen him much. But I mean, I know he was here like a lot of time before I got here. So I'm sure most of his work that he was putting in was kind of before, the signings of everyone or whatever.
Yeah, cool. And do you get many people? Is there many of the crew from England? Do they come out much, or they've been just sort of leaving it to you guys, or they? Yeah,
Yeah. So I've had about maybe 3 weeks in total where like a bunch of UK guys came over and we did a bunch of testing.
yep,
But for the most part, like those are like really organized, like, okay, we're gonna have like pretty much our whole team out here and then we're gonna do this and that. But just week to week normal stuff. They'll send normally about 2 to 3 UK guys, like not all the time all together, but there'll always be kind of 1 to 2 UK guys around for something, whether it be something that they're watching with the bike or a part thing or you know what I mean, that kind of deal. So there's always UK guys around, but for the most part, everybody here works pretty closely with those guys, even when they are back home in the UK. So there's not much for them to be over here for, honestly, until we have something big that we want to try and figure out, what works and what doesn't with the bike.
yeah, cool. It's funny. I had I posed a question there on to friends or socials or whatever there. Just a fun question: what all the different brands and which rider for each brand do you think of? I think of Suzuki's. I still think of Travis. That
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And on the list, I put Triumph for Triumph was coming, and I remember writing Fonzie was. I think of Triumphs. I think of
Yeah.
Fonzie. Do you
Yeah.
even remember Happy Days? You wouldn't remember Happy Days. Your mum probably watched Happy Days, so yeah. But
I
think
know
of
about
Triumph.
Happy Days. Never watched, but I
Yeah.
hear it from all the older guys around here.
Yeah. Well, Fonzie wrote a Triumph, man. So I remember saying that. So it's funny now, Now,
Yeah.
honestly, man, you'll probably take over from Fonzie, and that thought will probably think of you, So,
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like you were saying earlier, like there's endless possibilities to be the first on this thing. So
yeah,
it's super exciting. Once in a lifetime kind of deal, to be honest.
yeah, cool, man. Cool. Hey, what other interests do you have, man? So when it's the off season, when you get a chance, what else do you do?
Uh I know it's gonna sound cliche because every rider says it, but I've dabbled in golf a little bit. Um, and to be honest, like I was big into it for a little bit, and then I just had a few, maybe a couple games back to back that were just really just not good games, and I scrapped it for a while. Especially here too in Georgia, like it's way more colder than Florida, so it's not very often I'm like, yeah, I want to go outside and do something like that. So golfing's been kind of scrap, even though I still would like to play. Dude, honestly, it's about it. I mean, I'm into like video games. I have a few riders I play with on some gaming stuff, but for the most part, honestly, after especially this boot camp, like after training or just a long day, like the last thing I want to do is go do something, to be honest.
Oh, sorry.
All good.
I thought I'd muted that. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So golfing, man. Yeah. The yes, it's funny, man. I've never been into that, and there's a lot of a lot of moto guys do, and to me, it's like it's like it's almost like the opposite of moto. It's such
Yeah.
a so you're walking around. It's all sort of slow. There's not a lot of rush and that sort of thing. But I guess that's why a lot of moto guys get into it.
Yeah, just the complete opposite. It helps you kind of. I mean, it's one of those things too. Like, there's not very many things that we can go do like when we're in the season or just training in general. Just like you're always tired. It's always something. So golf's one of those things like you can just get in the golf cart, ride up to your ball, hit the ball, get in your golf cart. You know what I mean? Like there's not much to it other than just like you can have you don't have to exert a lot of energy to do golf. So I think that's why a lot of guys tend to do it because it's not very taxing on your body, at least for like a rider simple where you just get in a golf cart and go. Half the time, most of the fun in golfing is jumping the golf carts. To be honest with you, not even really.
Yeah, I guess.
Playing
I
golf.
guess. Yeah. The old moto guys get going on the golf carts. So you've got. I remember a video of you. You got little brothers and sisters. Is that right?
I have 2 little brothers.
2 little brothers. Yeah. Cool. And do either of them riding? Like, is that are they getting into it or?
No, they're more like football. Football is their thing. So I got an older brother too. Older brother, and I have a half sister. But yeah, the youngest 2, they kind of were the only ones that kind of dabbled into maybe doing it. But like one fall on the PW, and then they were just like out of it. So I feel like that's kind of how like with kids if they're gonna end up like racing or not is the first fall they have if they're like, no, I'm over it, or if they want to get back on it, and they were just the ones that just did not want to get back on it. So they chose the football, basketball, that kind of deal, that type of stuff.
Cool. And Mum was probably glad when they didn't choose moto.
Oh yeah, she was probably like, she's like, thank you.
So she obviously always stresses when you're riding, man.
Yeah. Honestly, my mom's pretty chill when it comes down to me racing. I would say probably one of the more chill moms, I think, but obviously she gets nervous, but she won't let me. No. She's like, everything was all good, but I know she was biting her nails most of the time.
Just quietly, she doesn't want to put that extra pressure on you. Yeah, cool. Hey, question, man. So I'm pinching this, but giving credit. Kellen Brower asked a great question this week to, I think it was to AP, and I thought, I'm gonna steal that. He asked you, what past rider would you love to line up on the gate next to you or on the gate with you? Which past rider would you love to race?
What rider would I want to race? Honestly, I'd like to race Brownie.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. I love it. Yeah.
I would love to see that. Like, I don't know, because all I have, like, I was pretty young when he was in his prime or his races were going on. So I always get to watch like off of YouTube and like stuff like that, like what he was doing back then. But no, I think it'd be sick to race Brownie and like see what my trainer was like on the track,
Yeah. Badass. Yeah. That 2001 outdoors season, man, that's still a great watch.
Yeah.
Those
were like most of the YouTube vids I watch for like 01. I have a funny story, Brian, actually. Before I even knew, like, when I was younger growing up, like, I watched dirt bikes, but I wasn't like studying dirt bikes, I was just kind of just being a kid, didn't really care, like, whatever. So fast forward, I was like, I think like 250B or something. Like I'm like 16 or 17, and I go to this area qualifier, and of course Brownie is there, and there was like, I don't think there was that many people with his class, and his class right there. So somehow we ended up like doing like the gate drop together, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm at this area qualifier, and I'm racing this old dude, And he's like he's on 450. I'm on my 250. So he gets to start, and he's out for and it's taken me like maybe 3 or 4 laps just battling with the dude, just trying to get by him. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, I'm like, it's like blowing my mind. Like, dude, do I like suck or what? Like, I don't even know who he is. I just see old dude, bald head, just like smoking me, right? And so I get by him, whatever, and win that race. Next race, I fall down, he wins or whatever. And the whole time I'm thinking like, dude, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And so we get to Loretta's that year, and my mechanic, like, he's kind of like older dude back then, and he's like super like, I guess like in the racing, he's like a super fan almost. Like we show up to Loretta's and we have like the Rockstar Husqvarna rig there, and Brownie's bike is under it. He's getting like Husky support, and I see the big number 3 and the bike under the rig, and I look at my mechanic. I'm like, who the fuck is number 3? Who is that? Who? And he's like, you don't know who that is? That's Mike Brown. And he's like freaking out. He's like, oh, I want a jersey. I want a jersey. And I'm like, all right, I need to see this. I pull up the phone and I start watching and I see all this shit about Brownie and everything. And it's like, it's so funny, like, that now he's my trainer, because back then I was always like, dude, who in the fuck is that? Who is that? Who is that? You know? And it's so funny. Like, it's like one of those full circle things, you know what I mean? And now, like, me and Brownie are super close, and he's, like, one of my best friends, and, yeah, my training guy. So it's funny.
I love it, man. That's a great story. Yeah, I love that, man. Cool. Hey, what sort of music are you into, man?
Mostly just rap, but my dad's white, so like I was into rap or whatever, but my dad would always listen to kind of just like not country, but I guess like what would you call like alternative like rock or whatever, like that 2000s, 2010s like kind of rock stuff. So it's funny, like I know like all the old songs that like everybody loves. Not to be like that guy, but like white people like what they like to
Yeah,
listen
no,
to,
I know
right?
what you
Like
mean, man. Yeah.
like I like know all the white music like word for word just from all the long car rides to the races with my
Yeah,
dad.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
obviously like my mom's side of the family is black, so like I know all the old rap stuff. So I'm like just like the weird half breed that just likes all the music. Like I like everything but country, to be honest.
Cool, man. Like I'm the same, man. Like man, I love honestly, man. My music tastes. I sort of stopped taking notice of anything new years ago.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I just keep going back to what I like. But old school rap, man, I love it. Like
Yeah.
Cube's my favorite. But all that sort of era. And but I also am a big sort of rock guy, rock, metal,
Yeah.
alternative rock, all that sort of thing as well. So yeah, my playlist sort of varies all over the place, and I don't mind a little bit of country, some old school country stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's cool, man. Do you get in if you're into rap? Do you get into old school rap much? Like,
Yeah, I have so I have multiple playlists. I have like old school rap, like middle kind of now stuff. And then I have like it's labeled under my playlist as my white playlist, and then it's just like
I love it.
it's
Yeah,
like
cool.
all the like my dad style stuff, like all like the Linkin Park, the
Yeah.
Nickelback, like all that kind of shit. The
Yeah.
Three Doors Down, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 2000 stuff. Yeah, so that's even
Mm-hmm.
just a touch new for me. I'm very much like I was like your age in the '90s, so I'm very much a
Yeah.
90s guy. Yeah, that's cool, man. And what I would say you like a few different things. What are you playing on before the race? You know what's going in? What's in the headphones before the race?
um, to be honest with you, the race playlist is mostly just rap, kind of like
Yeah,
um, I don't know. Let's say some 21 Savage, some Mobb Deep. What else is it? I'm coming up short right now, but my playlist, dude, is literally all over the place. Like everything. Had Snoop in there, Ice Cube, NWA, dude, all over the place. I'm struggling right now, but if I showed you my playlist, you'd be pretty impressed, I think.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool. I love it. I love it. Hey, I noticed on your Insta you got your new knee braces have got a cat on them. So tell me about the cat. I love animals, man. So yeah.
I got the cat tower up here. I have like one room in like the upstairs that's just like a one big bonus room. And it's like my game room. Normally my cat's up here, but I don't know where he's at. I would just pick him up and throw him in the camera for you, but I don't know where he's at.
That's all right. And what's his name again?
I call him Grimace.
Grimace, that's right. Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah, it started out as Grim for like short term for Grim Reaper because he's like an all black cat, and then he's just a little shithead, so it turned into Grimace.
Yeah, cool. I love it, man. Yeah, it's cool how they do that. So that they're on the knee braces there.
Yeah, I remember. No, it's cool. My next one is gonna be my dog. I have a few funny pictures of my dog, so I want to have him do like the complete, like the same thing, but just with my dog because I have an all black German Shepherd, like a long haired one, and so yeah, I have like an all black household right now. So I'm trying to get another one redone with him, and then I'm gonna try to. I guess I'm gonna have to switch it up and get a white animal in here at some point before anybody starts to raise an eyebrow.
Hey, you want to get a custom helmet job with the cat and the dog on it? Yeah.
Oh, I should. Right now we don't have an energy drink on the helmet, so I think I might be able to maybe put some work in for that. You know.
Yeah, because Monster was involved a bit with Triumph at early days, weren't they? There was.
So Monster, I think a lot of people assume that because Ricky is obviously Monster, right? But the Monster USA and Monster Europe are two completely different things. So Monster Europe is involved with Triumph, and then here I think they were in talks, but something were to happen, or maybe just not enough time, or whatever the case may be for that. But so we don't have anything as of right now, I don't think, unless we show up and there's something on our helmet. I don't know.
Cool. Hey, Dave Arnold, man, have you had much to do with Dave?
Yeah, Dave's been around for most of the big tests. So I mean, here was the first time I've been around him, but man, I mean, super smart guy. Good humor. He's he's one of the rare ones, and obviously, like I said, super smart. So he's been pretty heavily involved in some of the decisions with going for the bikes, handling and stuff like that. And he's been a big help. He's been around a good bit. So I've been getting more accustomed to him and getting to know him. But we have a good relationship. And yeah, man, he's can't beat a super smart dude. And obviously a guy who's been around the sport for as long as he has. He's got a lot of knowledge.
Sure has, man. Like he's just to someone my age, he is just he's a mega legend, like Dave Arnold. His involvement and impact on the sport, and bike development in the early days is just massive. So that's a huge asset. I don't know if you've looked back at you probably don't have time, but if you do get time, in the off season, have a good dig into his past and things he's done. And he's done a lot of good big interviews, and there's even videos about him and that sort of thing, about especially in the Honda days. Just amazing stuff. Amazing how smart that guy is. Yeah.
No, yeah, of course, and like Triumph, like that's what I was saying. Like the personnel that they have around, like there's so many people involved that like. Oh, Grimace is here. Hold on.
Yeah, grab him.
1 second. Oh, my big fat cat.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Oh, hello, dude. How are you?
yeah. He's overweight right now. He went to the an animal checkup the other day, and he's fat. So
Oh, that
we
happens,
got
man.
yeah, we gotta get this dude on a treadmill or something.
Our cat got locked in because she sneaks in so we've got like a big pantry, and
Yeah,
she must have snuck in past our legs, one of us, and she got
yeah.
locked in the pantry. And I don't know, she must have been in there for like at least an hour. And then we sort of figured out, like, where's the cat? And we're going there, and she's found her food. She climbed up, found her food bag, torn it open, and like eaten most of it. She was that fat, like she was just like a whale.
No, this
That
dude's
was so
gnarly.
funny.
Like this guy, he'll get his bowl of food, he'll eat his bowl of food, and then if he hears me getting the dog's bag, he'll run to the dog's bowl and eat the dog's bowl. And my dog, like he's I mean, he's a really really big dog, but he's like just a big teddy bear. So like
Yeah,
he'll run up and start eating out of the dog bowl, and the dog won't like do anything. He'll just watch.
yeah. Most
So in
most
return,
big
we get a
dogs.
fat cat.
Yeah, most big dogs, man, they are just big sooks. It's like it's the little dogs
Yeah.
that'll attack you, not the big dogs. Yeah,
Yeah. No, he's
yeah,
he's harmless. He's got a big bark, so he'll scare everyone. But for the most part, I mean, he's a drummer at the end of the day. So if like me and my girlfriend start like kind of like pushing at each other, like he'll have his side of that's like, all right, yeah, you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
are stopping. But yeah, big teddy bear.
Yeah, cool, mate. So I was going to ask you've got a girlfriend?
Yeah,
Yeah, cool, man, cool. And you've been with her for a while?
yeah, we've been together for a while. I think 6 years.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, yeah. Geez,
Yeah.
they'll be starting to get the pressure on then. Starting to get the pressure on for to pop the question.
Yeah, of course. And then it
Everybody be
doesn't
asking.
help.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't help that I mean, every rider seems like now within like
yeah,
every month seems like somebody's down on one knee. So
yeah,
yeah, she scrolls, sees that, and then starts eyeballing me. But
yeah,
yeah, at some point, yeah, I kind of want to focus on what's in front of me at the moment, and then
yeah. That's right.
whenever we have some free time, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's the way, man. That's the way. Hey, dude, I want to talk a little bit, obviously, about High Point. Dude, I don't know. The floor's yours, man. Tell me about that day.
Dude, I mean, for me, like, always knew I had this speed, and at that moment, like, that was the last gen Husky, so I was super familiar and super comfortable with that bike, and for me, I feel like it was a build up. Like Supercross on that bike was pretty good. I got like multiple fourths and a podium, and like I mean fifth in the championship. Like I did pretty good on that bike, and that was my second year. My second year pro, yeah. So leading up to High Point, like I felt like it was like like a build up of momentum, and I was starting to get better and better and better. And by the time we got to High Point, I just feel like I was ready to go, to be honest with you. And I had fast days at the practice track. I felt good on the bike. And then, yeah, we got to High Point, and it was a day where I got two good starts, really. Like outdoors, it's like you'll make your life 100 times easier if you get a good start. And it ended up being a day where I got two good starts. Both times were, I think, top three. And yeah, I mean, I got a little luck in the first moto with what happened to my teammate at the time, RJ. I think he had like a chain deal or whatever. But for me, say I don't win that first moto and I go 2-3, that's still the overall on the day, and that's still back-to-back podiums. And for a guy who hadn't had podiums for an outdoors, I think that was a really good day. And I mean, I had moments since then, I feel, where I definitely had my opportunities to get back on the box, even when I wasn't so comfy on the bike with the new one. But like I said, it all comes down to starts when everybody's so fast nowadays.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah. It's pretty special, man. Like yeah, I hope you get plenty more. But
Mhm.
it's gotta be a really good feeling knowing that you've ticked that box.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, yeah.
it's super cool. It gives me confidence. Even the years that when I got that new gin and I wasn't Joan with it, it gave me confidence to know that I've at least been there and done that. And I always felt like um I've just always felt like I can do it again. Even
Yeah.
on the like deepest, darkest days of what this sport brings, like I've always felt like if I was in the right mindset, right opportunity, right everything, that I can do it again. And I still feel like that. So I mean, I'm super confident. I don't know, something about winning, no matter how long ago or when you do it, just it brings you confidence. Like I feel like I can do it again, and um, yeah, hopefully, this year brings some good excitement.
Yeah, man. How awesome would that be on the Triumph? Man, like
Hmm.
I always say, I love a good story. And
Hmm.
that's something I'll say so many times on this podcast. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
always here for the story. I write stories and I love stories. And the thought of a new manufacturer having great success in that, well, it's a great story. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm definitely here for it. And for you, man, after the shitty luck you've had to have great success, that's a great story as well. So yeah, it all
yeah. No,
sounds
super exciting, super exciting. I mean, injuries are a part of the sport. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, luck can be on your side or not on your side. It's 50-50. And I don't know, whether it was being unlucky or just putting myself in spots that I probably or taking risks that I probably should have not taken. Um, I mean, you have to live with. I mean, it's a part of the sport, right? Like every day, this is one of the things or the aspects of the sport that I feel like it's looked over a lot. Like, it's not like you guys just see us when we race. Like the same risks we take when we race are the same risks we take every single week. You know what I mean? Even when you race, most of us probably ride 2 to 3 days a week, before the race. Like that's a lot of laps when you really, really like count it up that something could happen. So
yeah,
for me, just I got bit by the injury bug a little bit, and yeah, it just wasn't my time. But instead of like sitting around and being bitter over it or whatever, I mean, I'm using it as fuel. I had to sit out and I had to watch a lot of people that I feel I was on par with or better than do good, and it's just kind of fueled me a little bit, and um, not not like looking at other guys as like, oh, like why is he up there, not me,
yeah,
but just as in like, man, I want to be there.
yeah,
So it's given me a good amount of motivation, and obviously now signing with Triumph and being around a group that believes in me. Like there's nothing like rewarding the people who believe in you when other people didn't, and I feel like I'm a little bit written off, which is okay. I like the underdog role, and I think it'll be like I'm just itching for that moment of success where it's like a rub in the face. You know what I mean?
yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
right. I like it. I like it. It's a good attitude, man. It's a good attitude.
Yeah.
You seem like you're in a good place. Like mentally, you seem like you're in a good place. You seem really happy. I've only just met you today, but
Mm-hmm.
I tend to be able to read people pretty well like that, and you certainly seem like you're in a good place, man. So that is super cool. Hey, 33, man. That's a cool number. Are you happy
Oh
with
yeah.
that? You'd have to be pretty happy with that. That's a cool number. Like you all think we think of Grant, we think of Josh Grant, but
Yeah.
33, but it's to me like just in all sports, like it's Scotty Pippen. It's just like there's been so
Yeah.
many. It looks such a cool looking number. Um, so yeah, your bike looks cool, man. Like straight away, I thought the Triumphs looked cool,
Yeah.
and I like the I love black bikes. Like I got a Kawasaki, but it's got black plastics on it. Like I always
Yeah.
like black bikes, and with them sort of the highlight colors and that on there and all that, and then yours with the 33. Yeah, it is a cool looking thing. So um, really is, man. Yeah, so that's good. Hey, if you got a career number, what are you going
Mhm.
for? So and
Uh,
let's forget what's available. What would be the
yeah.
one you'd want? Any of them?
Man. If I could get a career number, I think for me, I think 16 is a cool number.
Yep.
15 is a cool number. Um, I think it would be one of those two, though. To be honest with you, there's not many other numbers that stick out. I mean, I did think 13 looked pretty cool on a bike, but every time I bring up 13, everybody's like, "Oh no, the number, that's not a good number." So, if I skipped that and did 15 or 16, I would be happy with either of those, I think.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah. Well, like yeah, 16, 16 would be available next year, I think. So yeah, there you
If I
go.
couldn't do a three-digit number, because if I went, I would like to go back to my old like rookie and amateur number throughout my whole career. It would be 352. If I could get 352, I'd be stoked. But I don't see the three-digit deal coming around anytime soon, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. They. I don't know. I don't know if they'd let you or
Last
not.
guy
Yeah.
was Alessi.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. 800. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Well, you probably can then, because he did it. So yeah. You never know. Yeah. That it's an unusual thing, isn't it? A lot of guys, go get their 2-digit thing and that, like Kenny and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hunter, things like that. But yeah, that that's the go. Yeah, and then I like 15. You never know, man. 15 might become available too, because Dino's probably only got he hasn't got too much long left in him.
Well,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I'd like to be at, because I mean, when I was or when I first signed with Husky, I think when I spent a year there. So when I was 14 or 15, Husky sent me to Ferry. So I trained with Timmy, and
Ah,
Timmy was
righto.
my
Yep.
trainer when I was younger. So I was with him for, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, somewhere around there, training with him. And then when I went to Baker's, Dino was there, and Dino was like my vet. Like he kind of just showed me the ropes a little bit. Like I had never really been like, I was always out on my own, but when I was with fairies, like they still did a lot of stuff that prevented me from growing up.
Yep.
Not that it was a bad thing because I needed it back then, but it was more like when I was out on my own and I was at Baker's and like everything was like fend for yourself now. It was like Dino helped me a lot when it comes down to that kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
even him, like he did the same thing almost as Ferry with like being like overly like he was like a parent almost. Like
Yeah.
I would fly in on the same flight as him, and he'd drive me to the track or the hotel. Drive, you know what I mean? Like he was like
Yeah.
my like literal vet, my vet. And so Baker was like anytime, and I was like, this was when I was new to Supercross, so like whoops were tough, like still figuring out that, and just like the small things that make up a lot in Supercross. Like we would do our motos, and like Dino would be like, oh, like we're going back out. We're gonna go try this. We're gonna go try that, and we're gonna work on that. You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that. Like a guy like him or a guy with like his stature, like he didn't have to do that. Like he was going out of the way to help me. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
um, like now growing up a little bit and looking back, like those are things that like I appreciate a lot. Because I haven't, other than like Malcolm Stewart, which is he's been around and helped me out a lot in my life too, but. Other than those two guys, those are the only two guys that would ever, or that I've ever experienced that I've like been around and we're like, let's go try this. Like, I want to help you do this. I want to help you do that. Like, try this, try that. So that's why I think 15 would be a cool career number to get because it would tie into the ferry deal and how much Dean helped me when I was there. So it'd be a cool little deal.
Yeah, cool, man. No, that makes a lot of sense, you know. And what you're saying about Dino and Mookie, you know, it speaks a lot to their character. And but I'm not surprised, man. You know, I only
Yeah.
know them from watching them, but I'm not surprised that they're that good of a person. And I'd forgotten how much connection you did have with Tim Ferry. Yeah, that's right. I remember that all now.
Yeah.
But that so there's a real full circle moment there now that you got
Yeah.
Evan.
No, it'd be
Now that you
so
got
cool.
Evan there out there with you, so
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure Evan wants to take the 15 for sure, but
yeah.
until he gets there, if I get a career number before him and he gets the opportunity, then I'll relinquish the 15 deal for him to take it. But yeah, I think full circle deal. I think all the help from Dean, all the help from Timmy would be sick, and obviously Stewart doesn't have any of those numbers, so there's no way for him to tie in. But like we can make something happen with the other two,
Yeah. No, that's the go. Mookie, man, like man, if bad luck, man. He's the man. Like
Yeah.
wow, feel so bad for him. Like I can't. I'm sure there has been, but I'm struggling to remember such bad luck in who's had that much bad luck in the first 4 races of a season, like ever.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it sucks. It sucks. Especially when someone he was super. I think the year or it'd be last year. So I think last year, if he never did the knee injury,
yeah,
he would have been there from start to finish. He was super fast.
super fast.
Didn't
Yeah,
really get to show it that much, but like, I mean, from the test track and the amount of just effort that he's putting into training. I mean, I was there the whole time with him. We trained side by side, and you could see all the work he was putting in. So, I mean, it sucks, especially like knees. I feel like knees, like you can dab your knee the same way 10 times and just that one time, you know what I mean? Just
yeah,
do something. So there's a bit of like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just kind of a luck deal, to be honest, whether you believe it or not. Like, I mean, you do your knee and you're out all year and like, you're just like, how,
yeah.
So yeah, it sucks for him, but I mean, he'll get back on the high horse and be fine. He'll be good. It just sucks that the first few 4 rounds have been so kind of. I feel like that it's a weird start to the season. I feel like there hasn't been a season where it's just off the bat like mud races. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but he'll be fine.
What's your sort of overall take on the front runners in the 450 series, man?
It's an exciting year to be a race fan, right? Like
It sure is.
It's a lot of people. Like I mean, Sexton's won, Jets won. Who else has won? Chase,
AP and Coop.
And Coop. So those are 4 guys, and then you still have Kenny can win, Eli can win. Who else? I'm missing other people. But Jason can win.
Yeah.
Like there's still I'd say about 4 more people that have a really good shot at winning, which is pretty gnarly when you think about it. So
and the points
for
is
racing
most.
Yeah, it's probably the best. Probably going to be the best year of racing that I think you'll see for a while, especially with all these guys that are kind of nearing the end of their sport, mixing in with the new guys. Like it's pretty fun to watch right now.
Yeah, it is. It's super good. Like I was a bit worried after A1 that Jet was just going to tear away with it all, and that we were going to have like, oh no, you don't like it.
Yeah.
And I keep saying I'm a bad Australian. I'm a bad Australian because it's cool to have Jet winning as an Aussie, but first and foremost, I'm a race fan and I want battles. So I'm totally here for it. And I'm also always here for a story. I want one of the old blokes to win this year because Jet'll win heaps. He's young. He's got his time. I want one of the old boys to get it done.
Yeah.
imagine Kenny or Eli after the injury or something like that. That would be just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be super cool.
Yeah,
Or
it'd be sweet, but there's so many people that can win. Like
yeah,
you're not. I feel like this is one of the only years where you can actually look at all the big group of guys that are racing and be like, yeah, I don't know who's gonna take it.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, cool, man. I might just I've got a few just sort of oddball random questions that I asked towards the end of the show, man.
Yeah.
So let me think. What's a good one? Here we go, dude. What is your spirit animal?
Spirit animal. Wolf.
A wolf, man. Why a wolf?
Because I feel like, I mean, you think of wolves in two different forms. You think of like the lone wolf, and you think of a pack wolf. And I feel like
Yeah,
I've been in a stage of both in my life in a way. Growing up, I felt like I was more of a lone wolf, like an outcast, kind of like outsider a little bit, like more antisocial, like kind of just more on that end. And especially like through like the younger side, like when I was kind of going through a lot of stuff and I was kind of on my own. So I feel like lone wolf a little bit, lone soldiering a little bit was that side when I was younger, and then kind of now being more, I don't know, growing up and having to, I don't know, I have the most fun when I'm around a group of people that I gel with and really like. And for me, like when I'm having fun, the best results, best, me in general comes out. So I have a small circle and I stick to it. And those are the guys I trust, and those are the only guys I listen to. So that's where I feel the other half of the like that wolf pack kind of side of things come out. So I don't know. I don't know how to like put the right words together, but like there's two sides of a wolf that you think of, and
yeah,
I
man.
feel like I've had both.
Dude, that is by far the best answer to that question that I've ever heard. That was gold, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
You not only knew the answer straight away, but then the explanation a lot. And man, I resonate with exactly what you're saying. I can tell you, it really
yeah.
makes made me think, and it makes a lot of sense to me. I might even change my spirit animal to a wolf now after hearing that.
Oh
I
yeah,
usually say a bear just because I'm a bit of a bear, you
because
know.
bear's cool.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
right. Let's see, dude. What's your sort of perfect track conditions or track? You know, so what do you drive up to? So thinking Supercross, what do you go out and look at and you're just like, fuck yeah, I love this. You know, describe that for me.
uh, well, it's funny you ask a question like that because as a rider, like you're never gonna go to the track and you're like, oh, this is perfect, because there's
Yeah,
always something. You know what I
of
mean?
course.
Like
Yeah,
any track guy at any facility will tell you there's always something for the rider. But for me, I feel like I would say 60-degree weather. I'd say obviously a water track, but when the dirt is like flipped, when it's like fluffy, I guess. So
yeah,
like just enough to rut up and not turn into just like blowing stuff out.
yeah,
Um, so I feel like that's like mint conditions for me. But when it comes down to like outdoor track, like I never really liked ruts, and then I got to High Point, like one of the more rutted tracks, and then I love that track. So like it just really depends on how you're feeling any certain day. Like I've had motos where, say, the year I won, like I really, really liked Unadilla. Then we showed up last year to Unadilla, and I hated the track. So it really just depends
yeah,
on what side of the bed you wake up on as well.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, anytime you can get, like the perfect like till, like something like a foot, 2 foot of like till, something where you can actually get like nice, like just, I call them roller coaster ruts, like the ruts that hold up and you can just kind of just
yeah,
chill in. Those ones I have the most fun on days where you have like really long, not too deep, just like middle ground ruts.
Yeah. Nice, man. Yeah. So sort of like chocolate cake dirt with medium sized ruts and 60 degrees.
Yeah, because I'm like I'm a corner guy. I love cornering. So
Yeah.
anytime you can have dirt that's soft enough to like lean as far as you want and it not like bite you, almost like you just it's so soft you just kind of
Yeah.
do whatever you want. That's like perfect for me because I like leaning the bike and all my corners are like I'm a momentum guy. Like I don't like gas it in the corner. So
Yeah.
anytime I can lean, that's when I get like the most satisfaction or just like adrenaline rush or something like that. Is when like I can really nail a corner.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I love it. We'll do one more, man. Let me think. What's a good question for Jalek Swoll? Oh, here you are, man. Here's a good one for a young fella. So, who's your celebrity hall pass? So, your girlfriend gives you a hall pass. Who is it? Who's you go
Megan
to?
Fox, I think.
Megan Fox. Okay, geez, you knew that one straight away.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, but like Transformers, Megan Fox.
Yeah. Because she's gone off the rails a bit, hasn't she? I don't know
Yeah,
much of her post Transformers, but yeah, I think she's.
yeah. I would say Transformers or Wolf of Wall Street, Margot.
Oh, okay, Margot. Margot is
Yeah,
by far the most popular answer when I ask that question. So,
yeah.
especially anyone under like 30, Margot, it's all, I can almost nearly guess it
Yeah,
every time. But
she's in the most movies now too. So the most like she's like
yeah,
one of the more seen. So I think that's just like the easiest answer.
yeah. That's right.
But I remember
That's
when
right.
I was younger watching Transformers, I'm like before I was even like calling chicks like hot. Like before like when I was a kid, I was like video games, movies, fun, outside, bicycle, whatever, right? And
Yeah,
then I went seen Transformers in the movie theater. I'm like, holy shit, I
yeah.
love females.
That was a good movie too, man. That first Transformers was awesome. Like I loved it. Like my son was right into Transformers and I got right into it for
Oh, they
for
had an era.
because
They
of the
had an era
movie.
for a while, man.
Yeah.
They were popping off for a good bit, but
Mm.
yeah, I feel like all those like super good movies back in the day they're just not like that anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big movie guy. Not a big movie guy really since my kids were little, like I've got
Hmm.
a daughter as well, man, and I can remember all the Barbie movies and all that, all that
Yeah,
as well, like,
yeah,
and then my son was all, yeah, especially like Transformers, and then as he got a bit older, he got like massive into Star Wars, and we were watching
yeah,
all those
yeah.
again, and then the new ones of them and all that
Well,
sort of
most
thing.
everything's like TV shows now, so it's not even really a movie thing anymore. Everything's kind of just episode.
Yes, man. I haven't been to watch a movie for so long because
Yeah,
would have been when my kids were little, taking my daughter to whatever
yeah,
movie. I know me and my wife were going to go and see a movie a while back, and sort of looked and it was like, oh, it's not really much on we
nothing.
want to see. So
Yeah,
just come home and she just put on Netflix or Stan or
yeah,
one of the other five
exactly.
streaming services I pay for, and
Yeah,
we just,
you can
you
find anything you want just at home nowadays. So it's kind of like taking the I don't know the point of like leaving the house and going to a movie theater away. You know?
yeah. Like I flew over to go and went to A1. Just, yeah,
Mhm.
geez, seems like forever ago, but it's only a few weeks ago. And on that
Yeah,
flight, both flights were night flights. So I watched a heap of movies because I can't
yeah,
sleep on the plane
yeah.
and you can't read or do anything else. So I watched a heap of movies on there, and that was the first time I watched about 7 movies across the 2 flights. And that's more
Mhm.
than I'd watched in probably the 7 years. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's most of the time where I get my watch time into is the airplanes. But
Yeah.
yeah, most time now I come back from racing or riding. If I'm not just like playing Xbox with the boys for a little bit, like I'll do that. I can turn on a movie and literally just fall asleep right away. Like you don't realize you're tired until you throw on a movie.
Yeah. It's funny, man. And sometimes it's even if it's a really good one, if you're tired, you still go to sleep, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Cool, man. All right. One last thing. Give us your best Aussie accent.
Dude, I used to be around a lot of Aussies. Now I've migrated from the Aussies, and I'm trying to think of something that they would always say. God dang. Dude, it's been so long since I've like been around an Aussie. Dude, I don't know. What do you guys say a lot? Give me like when you're like, you guys always have like small words that you say a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, obviously, man, we swear a lot. That's why you know that. We say g'day, mate. Just give us a g'day, mate. That'll do.
All right, Mike.
That wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Who's the worst? Who's the worst? Hey, mate. All right, Mike.
Yeah.
Who's the worst you've had on here that said that?
I can't remember the worst. There's been some pretty crook ones. The best was Callum Brower by far. Like Callan nailed it. But apparently
Callan of all people.
Yeah, man. But apparently he can do accents.
Really?
Because I was like, where'd that come from? And he can do accents. And apparently he used to like take off Chad Reed and stuff like that. So he's got the practice up, man. He was really good. Like it was convincing, So
I play MX Simulator with Kellen a little bit, or every now and then he'll pop in. I'm gonna quiz him on this thing. I need to hear some of these accents.
Yeah. So I don't know what else is in his repertoire, but he's definitely got the Aussie down. Yeah. That's the go. All right, man. I've taken up an area of time. Hey, I close out the show. There's a long story to it, so I won't bore you with that. But I close out the show. I sing a bit of Kenny Rogers, man. So when I get to the chorus of Kenny Rogers, the Gambler, man, if you know the chorus, fucking jump on in and let it rip. I'm tipping someone your age probably doesn't even know Kenny Rogers, but you never know.
No idea.
That's all right, man.
Zero idea.
That's all right. I didn't expect it. I've had a few people know the words, but not too many. So, look, just to explain, so you don't think I'm pretty weird, but so you don't think I'm too weird. So you don't think I'm too weird. When I did the very first show, I went to all the trouble of prepping an intro, and it wasn't until I was about to do the show I thought I fucking never planned an outro song or an outro music, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, a song I know the words to. And because I'm always singing and being a dickhead, I just thought I'll just sing an outro. And then I thought, well, fuck it, I'll just do it every show. So that's the story. Righto, man. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're going to play the game, boy, you got to learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Thanks, Jalek. Woo! Good luck this weekend, man. Absolutely good luck. Go out there and fucking kick some ass on that Triumph. And thank you very much for your time. And thank you very much to anybody who has listened.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, man.